How's it going, everybody? Shaun here. As you can see, I'm at the Disneyland Resort. Directly behind me, right there, is Galaxy's Edge. At least the backside of it, at least. But yes, that is Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I was just thinking about all the times I've been up here to check out the construction work of this area. And I still can't believe that it's here. Because when they first announced that they were bringing this here, you know, everybody was all excited, right? And we didn't know what to expect for Galaxy's Edge. Of course, back then we always called it Star Wars Land. We never knew it was going to be Batuu. We didn't realize it was going to be only based off of the more recent Star Wars films. There's a little bit of a love-hate relationship here in terms of myself and the Star Wars universe. But you know what? I thought for this particular vlog, we look back at the days of when we used to watch from right up here at the Mickey Friends parking structure, the construction work of Galaxy's Edge. There's gonna be a lot of points where it was mostly dirt, and maybe a couple videos when it went vertical, and then this, the end result. So enjoy this compilation video of Galaxy's Edge being built from the ground up right here at the Disneyland Resort. Enjoy. So yeah, this is the mini level. We're gonna look at the area very quickly of where Star Wars Land is gonna be located. I've seen videos of where people have been thinking of where it's gonna be located, like Fresh Baked Disney. They were actually over here looking in the area where Star Wars Land is gonna be built. And it's gonna be a while before they open that place up. So anyways, this is gonna be where Star Wars Land's gonna be, right here. All of this. Look at this, they got a little pin area for like the horses over here. There's Toontown, right over there. And just behind those trees is Frontierland. That little gate right there, that's where the Disneyland Railroad is. That's where they have a lot of the backstage stuff for Disneyland. I mean, it's like, where are they gonna put all the rest of the stuff that is over here, right? I don't know. This whole area here is gonna be Star Wars Land. That is crazy. It's gonna be kind of interesting because I wonder how well they're gonna be able to block this area off, because it's gonna be so close to the streets here and to the parking structure. I mean, I don't know. Oh, look, there's a Matterhorn right over there. All right, well, so that's supposedly where Star Wars Land's gonna be. So that's like the Mark Twain's getting ready to leave again. So from what I'm guessing, geographically, where I'm standing is probably, like this area here is probably going to be where they cut off the section of the Rivers of America, right here. The river is going to be cut in right here, and then anything beyond this point is going to be taken out. It's like right here. I'm not even sure if this is going to be here either. But that is the restaurant right there. The train tracks are like right over there. They're going to come this way, closer to where I'm at, and they're gonna go beyond or into the area where they have the trees over there. But this is basically probably gonna be like the end point of the island, which, you know, to be honest with you, is okay to me, because anything beyond here is just, you know, trees. That's what I'm guessing. So basically anything like the cabin in the woods, the river rapids, the keelboat, those will probably be gone. That also means that the Indian chief will be gone. He'll probably be brought in closer. Here comes the Columbia. Fire one! Reload and fire two! Yep, here it is. So the train is probably gonna be like right in here. That's what I'm guessing, because you know, that's just what I'm thinking. There it is. We're sorry. Big Thunder Ranch is currently and permanently closed from this day forward. This is it. What's left of it, that is. All the animals are gone. It's got a log cabin here. I actually passed by this cabin when I was here for the 20th anniversary of Indiana Jones The Ride. That's it right there. They also had like reindeer here. Looks like Big Thunder Ranch, the restaurant is open. Maybe it's not. It doesn't look like it's open. Yep, it's gonna be sad to see this go. It's a nice little area, I can tell you that. I was sitting like right over here in the video. They had like live entertainment here. Yeah, I was like right over here. This is like a little stage. They had live entertainment. So anyways, they got it all decked out for Christmas. This is probably the last Christmas ever. Not probably, it is. This is going to be gone on January 11th. Take a last good look, because it's not going to be here. They're going to have this all boarded up and everything. There's the logo and the Country Bear Jamboree. Did I say Country Bear Jamboree? I apologize. I'm just remembering something else. It confused because it said Jamboree and I said Country Bear Jamboree. That's what I was thinking of. Tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow, they're going to have a groundbreaking ceremony for when they are going to be officially like starting construction for Star Wars Land. Whoa! Check this out. Whoa! One of the buildings is gone. The other building that was right here, haha, Fresh Big Disney, I got you on this one. The building that was right here, gone. Wow! Oh my goodness. The last time I was here, there was so much stuff here. Oh my goodness, that is crazy. I've been trying to figure out exactly where the island is. Oh, there's the burning cabin right there. There's another building that's gone now. That's been taken down. A lot of dirt has been moved. So like right where this mound is right here, I think that's where the river's gonna be. And the train track's probably gonna be right about where this mound is here. I mean, I'm not positive about that, but that's just my only assumption. There's Toontown and the Hungry Bear restaurant, right where that, you see where that structure is right over there? That's Country Bear. That's Country Bear Jamboree, or not Jamboree, the restaurant. That's it right there. It's either that or that might be the Winnie the Pooh attraction. Wow, that is great. Well, here we are once again before we head out. Ooh, oh, they're tearing down one of the buildings. They're tearing it down as we speak. I wasn't doing that this morning. So there it is. We drove by Country Bear restaurant a little while ago. Look at that. We are witnessing history right here. They're tearing down another building. There's definitely a lot of trees that are gone. Wow. Whoa! Whoa! The building that was right there, we saw that being torn down last time. Whoa! It sounds like they're tearing another building down. Yeah, they are. Look, I don't know if you can see that, but they are tearing a building down right where I'm pointing, right there. So another building is going down today. These, I believe, well, there's still people in there putting stuff away, but wow. I can see the carousel from here, the little tent right there. This is obviously Big Thunder, and then off in that direction is Toontown. That's Mickey and the Magic Lamp, and Magic Map, excuse me. So if my geography is correct, right in this area here, this big large piece of property, this section here is gonna be where they have that special 3D/4D attraction. I think this attraction that they're gonna be building, where you're gonna be like with the First Order and the Stormtroopers, that's gonna be really cool. That's gonna be a really cool attraction. So I believe the Millennium Falcon is either going to be here or right over here. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be like right over here where these buildings are right here. That's what I'm guessing it's gonna be. There's a lot of smoke. I just realized this. There's a lot of smoke
right over there. See where that smoke is coming up? Wait a minute, it's traveling. Look. See that right there? It's traveling. It stopped. No, it's moving. A possible train? No, probably a tractor. Oh, I smell something already. I can smell it from here. They're doing something over there. It's really kind of smoky. Oh, there it is. I was here this morning and they were tearing down one building over here on the right. Can't really see it because the tree's hiding it, but there was a building there. I can see the Columbia right over there. There's the Hollywood Tower Hotel. Oh, look, I can see the Gag Factory from here. Look, way down there. I was gonna say you can see the castle from here, but not really. The castle's probably right there between those trees there. I think I just saw a train go down the Big Thunder Mountain. Yep, there it goes. I just saw it. I'm pretty much betting that when I come back here next time, these buildings will not be here. Oh, actually, you can see the rubble. I can actually see it from here. There it is. There, that's the building they were tearing down this morning. Well, here we go. Another mound of dirt has appeared. Whoa. Now that mound was not there last time. What could that possibly be for? The buildings that were over here originally are gone. I'm not sure what this big mound is for. It looks like a plateau of some sort. Maybe we're going to Tatooine. Doesn't Tatooine have plateaus? I don't know. Oh, and it looks like the cabin's gone, but that will be coming back, hopefully. They're working hard. I don't really know exactly when we will start seeing the first buildings appear for Star Wars Land. I'm pretty sure that'll probably be in maybe late June or early July. And now I'm going to take my Instagram photo here with Kylo Ren.
Be sure to follow me on Instagram at instagram.com/ShaunAllenFilms. And now, back to your regularly scheduled vlog.
Well, I think I know where the train is going to be. So as you can see right here, there is a pathway right there. You see that? Where it kind of curves, goes past this small mound here where a portion of the island or a section where the hill comes down and then goes that way. I think that's the train route. I was kind of guessing that because look, you see this section here where it's all circular? That's probably going to be Rivers of America is going to be. Now that could also be from the construction vehicles using that as the path, but I don't think so. Because you can see it has a distinct curve right there. But you know what? That's very sharp though. Specific, for the train. Now that I think about it. But still, it looks like a pathway that goes to Mickey's Toontown. So I don't really know if that is actually the path for the train, now that I'm thinking about it. But obviously from here we can't see the cabin anymore because they've removed it. In terms of the actual river, you see how the sand, I guess that's sand. Oh, you know what? Actually, hold on a second. I think that's, right there. That's where the barrier is for the water, right there. You see where those pieces of iron and pipes, I think that's where the water is completely stopped from coming into this area of the park. Well, I'm so thankful there isn't a really strong breeze because I brought some friends with me to see the update to Star Wars Land. Check it out. My Star Wars Disney Infinity characters. Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Darth Maul, Ahsoka Tano, Luke Skywalker, Leia, Chewie, Han, Darth Vader, Yoda, the characters from Star Wars Rebels, and Kylo Ren. Those are the characters I have currently from the Disney Infinity series. They're strictly Star Wars based. I just took some pictures of them and I posted them on Instagram. Be sure and go and check it out. There they are, right there. My hands were literally shaking because I didn't want to drop any of them because this is a long drop. They can get busted very easily. There's the tram. Oh, there's a cool shot right there. Whoa. Ooh, what do we have here? Wow. Talk about an update. Holy cow. From what I'm guessing, these items that are standing up straight here, these pillars here, supposedly that's going to be rock work for the Rivers of America. You know, where they had the waterfall. It looks like they're just focusing on the Rivers of America and the Disneyland Railroad, because there's not a whole lot happening in this area here, which is Star Wars Land, but there is some construction work going on beyond Star Wars Land, which is Rivers of America and the Disneyland Railroad. So from what I'm guessing is that since the railroad's opening in the summer of 2017, they're working on that first and getting that set up. Then they'll start constructing the rides and things for Star Wars Land, probably within the next few months. But my guess is that they want to get this done first. There's a lot of construction around the area where they're going to be building the waterfall and the tracks. I do see what look like railroad tracks down here. There's some poles down here, but that could also be track for the Mark Twain, because if you guys are aware, the Mark Twain and I believe even the Columbia, they're on a track system when they go around the Rivers of America. So my guess is that we're starting to see construction work for the tracks for the Mark Twain and the Columbia. They buried like this special electronic like hub right over here where you see this mound right here. They buried like a device that is going to be able to produce electricity not only for Star Wars Land but possibly also for Rivers of America, because they do have areas of Rivers of America that will be using electricity, like the fountains for example, and the waterfall. So I see a pathway that leads beyond where the train is going to be. Whoa, look at this guy. He's really being adventurous here.
Yo, hey guys, what's it go? Whoa!
There's still one building here that they did not take down. My guess is that they're not taking this one down. Maybe at some point they will. They're starting to put down the basic like foundations for Star Wars Land, but they haven't officially started working on it yet, in my opinion. The last couple of times I've been here, you guys know that I've been bringing my Disney Infinity characters. Yes, I did bring a few more, and I actually bought the last two, not the last two, but in my collection, the last two Star Wars Disney Infinity characters. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to very carefully put these figures, 4 figures I should say, it's not like 7 or 8, but 4 figures right here on the ledge looking out towards Star Wars Land, looking out to the future in a galaxy far, far away. By the way, in case you guys want to know how I do this, you're going to watch a little, not stop motion, but a time lapse of how I do this. Here we go. There you go. They all survived, as you can see. Wow. Check that out. They were saying that they were going to be putting up some walls, and oh my gosh, this is really, really starting to take shape now. There's obviously a big hole right there. So it looks like they're putting down track for the Mark Twain over there, or at least they're getting ready to. Because as you all know, whoa, I almost dropped the camera. The Mark Twain actually runs on a track. It's not a free-floating vehicle. It's actually on a track on the Rivers of America. So my guess is that they're planning on preparing to put the track in the ground here. But as you can see, they got this wall here. Now, some people have been asking what that is going to be. That's probably going to be the wall where the waterfall is going to be. Because the train is going to be like right on the other side, supposedly. Now these are pipes right here. This guy's digging for gold or something there. My hand is literally shaking. I better step back. There's actually a truck by that wall there, and it looks like they're covering it with dirt, where the tent is over there. A lot of pipes, possibly for, you know, getting water and stuff to this section of the area, because obviously you need restrooms in Star Wars Land. And water fountains. Yeah, that's a good question. What are the water fountains going to look like in Star Wars Land? That's going to be very interesting. It looks like they're doing something over there on that side too. I don't know what that's all about. That's on the other side of the mound. Well, one thing is for sure, there are a ton of vehicles out here. This, ladies and gentlemen, is not the Millennium Falcon ride, but the stormtrooper ride. There's definitely a lot more cranes out here, and as you can see, look at this section right here. Look at this wall. That's the backside of the waterfall. That's gonna be where they have the waterfall and the railroad tracks. In terms of the mountain, look at this. There's a lot of vehicles on top of that. It looks like they're parking a lot of their vehicles up there, but you can't really see, well, you can still see Toontown. But like I said in a previous, I don't remember if it was the previous Star Wars Land update or if it was 2 updates ago, but what I can tell from what is going on right now, I think my predictions are correct, and that is they've definitely wanted to work on the railroad first and then continue working on Star Wars Land. This could also mean they're working on the track for the Mark Twain as we're speaking. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 cranes out here, and it looks like there's a cement machine right there in that area. We didn't really lose that much of the island, did we? There is something that is a big difference, and that is it is taking a very sharp turn back in the other direction, because right about the area where this crane is, I believe that's where they used to have the Indian camp, which supposedly is supposed to be coming back. All right, very quickly before I go, it's time to get a picture, and I think this is gonna be a great photo because here in this tote bag, I have that's right, all of my Star Wars Disney Infinity characters. And yes, last time I wanted to do this, I wanted to bring the Millennium Falcon, and I forgot. Well, here it is. I don't know exactly where it's gonna go. I'm praying that I don't lose any of these figures. The wind is picking up, gotta hurry fast. Is that proper English? I don't think it was, sorry. I did it. There they are. They're all on the ledge. You notice that I actually put some of them closer to my edge. That way they fell off, they come in my direction. I think the first photo that I ever took with the Disney Infinity characters in terms of Star Wars Land was the Kylo Ren figure. And then I worked my way through some of the other characters. When I got Rey and Finn, I brought Poe and Kylo with me. And I got that really cool picture last time I was here. Actually, it was 2 times ago. And now I've completely done it. I'm probably gonna do this again when they actually open up Star Wars Land, which will probably be in 2 years. But there you go, you guys. So cool. Again, if you want to see them on Instagram, go to my Instagram. I have my link down below in the description of this video. If you can't see the link, click the show more button. All right, now comes the fun part, taking them all down. Let's hope they all survive. This may be their last video for one of them at least, but we'll find out. Here we go. Yes! Well, they're definitely building that wall. Look at that. It looks like they actually built some sort of building right over here by Toontown. It's either, has that always been there, or is that, I don't know. It looks like they're putting up some sort of wall configurations here. Look over here. Look at these right here. I'm not sure exactly what that is all about. Wait. Could those be train tracks? They don't look like train tracks. They're doing a lot of digging. I see 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's a 5th crane over here. So they're doing something over there. This section over here by the Big Thunder Mountain area, that's going to be the entrance to Star Wars Land. And supposedly that's also going to be where they have the bridge where the train is going to be crossing over. Supposedly this is going to be where the Stormtrooper ride's going to be. And I forget where they were saying the Millennium Falcon ride's going to be. I thought the Millennium Falcon ride was going to be right here. That's what I thought it was going to be. But apparently this is where the Force Awakens or the First Order ride is going to be. The Millennium Falcon ride could be over there. I think that's where they said it was going to be. Look at that, folks. Inside the building here are a couple of walkers. No, not walkers from Walking Dead. I'm talking walkers AT-AT style. The AT-ATs. There's 2 of them. Not 1, 2 of them. I saw the Fresh Baked video from last week, and I saw the structure of them. I thought they were either bridges or they were going to be some sort of AT-AT structure. But it looks like it's going to be inside of the First Order attraction, which in my opinion is going to be so cool. This looks like it's going to have possibly 2, maybe 3 levels, maybe 4, because you got a basement here, you got this 1 level here, and then a 2nd level, and then possibly a 3rd level there. Those used to be on the island, folks. Those aren't new trees. Maybe a couple of them are, but some of them, from what I've heard, are from the island, Pirate's Lair, also Tom Sawyer Island. They're building the cabin right behind these trees here. I don't know if you can see it from here, but I'm gonna get into a better location. That was my thumb snapping. Okay, you can just see the cabin right there. That's gonna be along the river, the rivers of America. You got the stonework that's on the other side. And if you look at the original blueprints of what this is gonna look like after Star Wars Land is done, actually when Rivers of America is done, they were planning on putting the cabin back, so Mike Fink will be returning along with his keel boat. This is just an indication right here. They are getting serious. And one thing that I would absolutely 100% agree with on the whole issue of special effects being used in this attraction, they're going to be using a lot more practical effects. Because a lot of people were saying that, oh, this is going to be like a simulator ride, like Transformers. By the way, the person that built Transformers is also the one that's constructing this ride, the First Order attraction. Now, for what I've heard, they're going to be using a lot more practical effects in this attraction than, say, for Transformers, because in Transformers, you're looking at a whole bunch of screens. There may be a few screens here and there, but there's going to be a ton of practical effects. Like, check this out, folks. The First Order battle escape is looking pretty good right now. That is a huge building. It looks like they've added a new section to the building since I was last here. The AT-ATs, you can still kind of see them just a little bit. Not a whole lot. There's Rivers of America. That's basically like almost done. They have refilled the river right now. But as you can see, they have bordered it with all the trees. A lot of the trees were actually on the property before they started construction. Some of them were actually from the island itself, the island being Pirate's Lair / Tom Sawyer Island. From what I've seen from other videos, the cabin is back, the Mike Fink keelboat is back. We may be getting the Indian camp back. Off in that direction is where the Millennium Falcon ride is going to be. It looks like they added some sort of circular, like, pavilion or something right there. That could possibly be where the Millennium Falcon might go. There is a new pathway that is open right here that you can go on right now. Here it is. This is new. This is awesome. So my guess is that they haven't finished this portion of the wood. But yes, this is all new. This whole section. Check it out. They're building a whole new section right here. Like the last time I was here, they only had like 4 pillars up, but now it's taking shape. I see some welding going on right now. Now, some people have been saying, like Fresh Bake, for example, they've been saying that these pillars here might actually be where mountains will be, because you can actually see them somewhat from Frontierland looking towards this direction. And they think that it might be a way to kind of camouflage Star Wars land from the rivers of America, which I would think, you know, would be a smart idea if they added mountains or fake mountains, so that way you can't really see Star Wars land from here. And obviously the waterfall is going to be where the train goes by, and that's basically to counter the noise or sound effects from Star Wars land from entering into rivers of America. I don't know how loud it's going to be in Star Wars land. I'm assuming maybe not so much, but still, I think it's going to be pretty cool when it's done. I'm hoping it's not going to be super loud. That, my friends, is the First Order attraction. And that's one of the mountains right there. You can see the Matterhorn not too far from its location. Let's get a better view of this. This structure, it's literally a soundstage, guys, if you think about it. And I've been around the Universal backlot several times when I was working at Halloween Horror Nights. So this is not like unfamiliar territory to me, because it's literally a soundstage, because they have gigantic sets in here. So somewhere in the midst of this building are the AT-ATs, and there's even a whole section of a Star Destroyer in there. It's gonna look so cool. Anyways, so there it is. This whole area still hasn't been completely fixed, but my guess is that this might be either Q or shops. Maybe Q, I don't know exactly. They had this whole area completely open where people can see what's going on. This is obviously gonna block all of the rest of the construction, because you got this huge building here. This huge soundstage. There's technically maybe 2 or 3, because you got the smaller one over here. Now, the Millennium Falcon ride's on the other side. Originally, when I was watching my videos, I was thinking it was gonna be over here. It's actually gonna be over there. So they are building more of the mountains here, as you can see. They got it plastered and everything. It kind of reminds me of when they were building the new area for Frontierland along Rivers of America, when they were building the waterfall. So it's kind of reminding me of that whole scenario. It's looking pretty good so far. Not a whole lot to really show, because all the construction is happening on the other side of this soundstage. But you can see the mountain range right here. It's gonna look really bizarre when you're coming into Disneyland, but it's also gonna get people excited, especially kids, because there's Star Wars land right there. There's Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And you can literally see it as you're pulling into the Mickey and Friends parking structure. Well, this used to be where the land speeder used to be for Rey, but it's a part of the model for Star Wars land. That is really cool. Wow. That is going to be pretty cool.
A great, fun, energized experience. 4 at a time can go through this.
And that, my friends, is the video. That is the end result. That right there, that is the show building for Rise of the Resistance. And then off in that direction is going to be Smuggler's Run. And they just recently announced that we're going to be getting a brand new ride. Well, it's not really a ride. Well, it's Smuggler's Run, but it's going to be featuring the Mandalorian in that attraction. That is going to be pretty exciting. It's about time that they added more to it, because, you know, it's fun to be able to go to Corellia, get all the coaxium and all that, but it's about time we visited another planet. Apparently, we will be very soon. I'm looking forward to it, and of course, I'll be getting footage of it when that happens. And I think that's going to be kind of fun because then it's going to be like Star Tours, because you don't know if you're going to be getting Corellia or a different planet. I think one of the planets that we would be visiting was Tatooine, so that's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, Rise of Resistance, though, that is an amazing attraction right there. In reality, Galaxy's Edge is literally Disneyland's Wizarding World of Harry Potter, if you think about it, because that right there, that's like the size of Forbidden Journey, maybe just a little bit bigger, because that is a massive attraction. And then Smuggler's Run, kind of like Flight of the Hippogriff, pretty simple, pretty easy. And of course, back in the old days, that used to be where the Big Thunder Ranch used to be, and also a little portion of the Rivers of America. Anyways, you guys, that is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button. By the way, after seeing that video of when I put all the Disney Infinity figures up here, actually it wasn't here, it was right here, where I put all those Disney Infinity figures right here along this rail. And I was so scared to put them up here because that's, I mean, they would have landed on this piece of concrete here, but they would have easily bounced off and fallen down there to their doom and would have been destroyed. So having all of those Disney Infinity Star Wars figures lined up here for that one shot was a little scary. Once I took the shot, I removed them very carefully back into the bag, as you saw. I was on pins and needles the entire time. Like, I knew everything was stable for that shot, but it scared me because I did not want to go back to Toys R Us at the time to purchase more of those. I have the entire Disney Infinity collection. You guys want to see my entire Disney Infinity collection? I'll probably be doing episodes of Disneyland at Home featuring those figures. But yes, I do have the entire Disney Infinity series, mainly because I was an influencer for them. So more on that in a future video. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time here on the Disneyland video series.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and click the bell icon to be notified of when a new video will be going live. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more Disneyland fun. To stay connected, follow me on Instagram at Shaun Allen Films, and follow my other channels, the Educational Series, the Vlog Series, and the Travel Town Series. As always, thanks for watching.